Hey guys, I made a screen recorder for this Chromebook. It's it's a Samsung Chromebook Plus. So I just made a Chrome app that that can record the screen, like can capture the like screenshots, but like video. And there aren't any free ones for Chrome, so I made this one just to see if I could do it, and I did it. And so I'm going to show you kind of what I did, and yeah, we'll just kind of show it to you. So first I'm going to just record my screen with my phone here just so that you can see, since I can't record the screen and open up the screen recorder at the same time. But then after that I'll show you like an actual like screen stuff of the code and everything. So, all right. So here it is. It's really, I didn't mess around with the GUI at all. It's pretty, just basic HTML at this point. But it all works. So it's called Captus, and I'll put a link in the description to the GitHub for it. It's open source. So anyway, just select the media, and it comes up with this, and then oops, what did I just do? Oh, it was telling me which tab to choose because I did Chrome tab. Your entire screen, that's what I'm going to do, and then make sure share audio is checked. Just click share. And so now it's sharing. And then there's an additional step, clicking start record, and you can see it starts recording. And then, whenever you're done, you can either click stop here or stop record or both or whatever. And it stops, and then you download the file, and there's the file. So, yeah, so let me show you how I made it. Okay. So, yeah, here's what we got. So, this is just a README file. That's just for GitHub. So you have, for a Chrome app, you need these at least four files. So it kind of starts with manifest JSON, whatever you call it. So this one, it just gives, just basic JSON stuff, information that Chrome uses to, so like if you look in this extensions, Chrome extensions where I'm at, it uses that file to get the name for this and the description and that stuff. And then it also, some API calls, like the desktop capture, it's a Chrome API, web browser API, that actually, you have to put in permissions. So there's a couple things there. Actually, I could probably change this version. It's not 0.1 anymore because I've updated it like a bunch, but it's pretty much like 1.0 now, I guess, even though it's really ugly. Anyway, so yeah, there's, let's see. You have to give you have to say, where your background script is. And that's the next file basically. So once that's, you have your JSON set up, and we can find a link. It's pretty simple to. Google has good. Let's put it this way. Google has good documentation on creating your JSON and basically your four main things. So then we got background. It's a JavaScript script, and it just it sets up a listener that opens window.html whenever I go, file Captus, and then, whenever I launch it, it opens up window.html, and it opens it to this size. The outer bounds, the 500 pixels by 500 pixels. So let's look at it, window.html. So in window.html, this is basically just, all the HTML for that window that came up where I clicked the buttons to start the capture, and all that stuff. So we've got video. Actually, this video thing doesn't need to be there anymore because I took the video part out of it. There was a on the capture. Oh no, it's still there. Never mind. I thought I was gonna take it out. I guess I didn't. But yeah, so just that little video preview. And then we've got the body, which is, this is part of that video thing too, that autoplay ID main screen that connects to a thing in app.js. This is our the little clock here, which I think I screwed up, because if you look at it, it says it's been recording for 30. Maybe that's right. I don't know. I feel like the time goes too fast on it or something though. So I think I screwed something up in the code. But anyway, it's kind of nice just having that, even if you don't know the time, but just to see that it's recording. And then we've got the button, the select media button, you know, the 4 buttons right there, and then just a link to our app.js. So this is where all the magic happens in app.js. So I got this pre commented, but I'll just kind of go through. So this is a listener, add event listener for, you know, the DOM, for the select media button. As soon as that comes up, it takes, so this is what it's listening for. Click. This is what it runs whenever it hears that click or picks up that click, which is a function right here, select media. And I can't remember what this one is. Anyway, so then select media comes up, and that's that screen where you have the options, which you know, do you want to record the whole screen or a tab, or which screen, blah, blah, blah. And so in here, you can actually choose which options you want to give the user. And this is all through Chrome. This is Chrome Desktop Capture. And they have good documentation on this API, so I'll put some links for that. It's really good documentation usually. I don't know. I feel like web development stuff has great documentation, and then I also do like a lot of Linux stuff, and that documentation always just seems horrible compared to the web dev stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but anyway, so yeah, you can see the options are there for the screen, the window, a tab, and audio. So those are the 4 options that the user has on that select media window that comes up. And that returns that does like a callback to the access to record function. So once the user makes their choice, it runs this access to record function, which is right here, which takes the ID and the audio state. And I think it has to have this audio state. No, I think I actually just did that to test some stuff. I don't know if it needs that. I'm pretty sure it needs the ID though, because the ID, yeah, that's the Chrome media source ID. So that's basically the ID of the screen that you're capturing. So that's coming from Chrome. And the audio and the video, you set those pretty much both the same. And then there's some other options that you can put in here, like actually I'm not sure of any for audio, but like you can put like max, I think it's max frame rate, and you know, and choose, you know, different things like that. So there's a bunch of different options there. And then this does a promise, which, so basically what this does is once this runs, which is super fast because it's just, you know, it's just giving the web browser essentially access to the media sources it's pointing it to them. Then it goes to the start stream function, or if the start stream function fails, then it goes to the failed stream function. The start stream function, it just, let's see what's it do here. It gets the main screen. So that was, that's the video. Oh, this is, so this shoots the, this is just shooting the video preview, this thing right here. That's that part. Then I just did a little console log for the stream, and I can show you that, because that was just for me kind of testing things and making sure things were working. But so you can actually see the media stream ID here. That's essentially how all this stuff works. It uses this media stream ID, so it's just a stream of data. It's the stream of the video and the audio data, just coming through there. So this is a, oh, I put this in here because the I think it was, yeah, above was deprecated. So I did have this video.source equals URL. I think that was from Mozilla Developer Network. But then when I was making it, I got like a console log that said it was going to be deprecated soon. And I think it's like this month it gets deprecated. But anyway, there's a link there. But so then what I found was, do this instead. Basically what this does is it tries the new way of doing it, and then if that fails, then it just goes to the old way. Then we've got, this is just telling, what type of video to record, MP4. And then this is pretty important here, the media recorder. This is part of the, I think it's its own thing. Yeah, media recorder. It's an API. It's HTML5 API, I believe, if I remember correctly. And then we got the recorded chunks, and that's pretty much just blobs of data. It's like, a whole bunch of bits and bytes that make up the video file. Then on the media recorder, we run on data available, and that listens. So as soon as there's data available, data, I keep switching. So as soon as some's available, then it runs this function. And that takes event, which is, I can't remember what event is. Let's see. If the data is, if the data is greater than 0, okay, so this just takes pretty much whatever the data is. I think it's like pretty much the media stream. Recorded chunks, and then it pushes it into the event.data. And so basically you're putting everything in there, and then I just put some console logs, just data's being handled properly, handle data available, function issue. That was just for testing stuff too. And then we've got, and there's not really too much more here actually, it looks long, but so we've got the, this is the timings. This is that little timer here that I put that's pretty messed up, I think. Because, yeah, why is that? Yeah, that's pretty messed up. So let's just skip that. And then we've got, that's still timer. Recording started successfully. We should be able to see that in the console here. Yeah, there it is. So we know we're recording. And where was that? Console. Okay. And then there's this unended when the stream stops. So one of these is I had to do two separate things for the stop. Yeah, okay. So unended is what happens whenever you hit stop on this little thingy here, because it actually stops this up here. It stops the desktop capture. So I wanted to listen for that to be stopped, because if that stops, then you definitely want the recording to stop, right? But then I also wanted the user to have the ability to just stop the recording this way too. So I got both in there. So this one stops it whenever you hit it from the desktop capture. This one will stop it if the stop recording button is clicked. Media recorder stop. Clears the interval. That's just clearing the timer there, setting it back to 0, and then logging console stop successfully. And then we got our download button, which is this right here, and that's how you just download the file. And this actually does a little bit of kind of complicated stuff here. So when the download button is clicked, it puts the recorded chunks into a blob, and then so now what has to happen is this blob of just raw data has to be converted to MP4 or WebM or whatever the file format is. And that's where this stuff happens. Window URL create object blob. So that's creates like essentially a URL of the blob data. And then we use like basically some HTTP stuff like ahref URL. And that's what puts it into this file. And then whenever, let's see, whenever it's clicked, download button click recognized, and then it, what's it? I can't even remember what this is doing now. Document body, remove child, revoked object URL. I think that's basically just some security stuff, like just removing that URL so that's not just floating out there. And then this is that failed stream function, and basically it just logs stream failure. And that's it. So it's actually pretty simple with HTML5 and with Chrome's desktop capture APIs, it's actually pretty simple to make your own screen recorder. So let me just show you their APIs real quick, and I bet you I can find them pretty damn fast here. Desktop capture, and then it was I think it was MDM. Oops, yeah, MDN. What was that called? Caret Navigator Media Recorder. And there's some that's better than others with this one. There was Media Stream. Yeah, okay, so there's Media Stream and then Media Recorder, I feel like. So one of these was kind of had both, and one only covered one. Media Recorder. Yeah, so this is pretty good documentation here. These aren't really very complicated APIs or tools. So see, there's only so much. These aren't like these super long documentation books. They're pretty simple. There's not a whole lot you can do with them, which is nice in a way. So because then there's not a whole lot to learn to get it working. And here's the desktop capture. This is where I really got started and figuring this stuff out. I was so glad this was like really easy to understand. This is like just phenomenal documentation. I seriously like love Chrome for this, and look how short it is. Boom. And they also have somewhere, I think Chrome Media Recorder, I think they have a pretty good like demo. Look at this. Yeah, this is it. So let's see, try it out here. Yeah, so they got a pretty good demo, and you can actually record. This is a camera one, so this doesn't actually record the screen, it just records the your webcam. So it's missing an element kind of, but this helped me out a lot because I came and viewed the source, and I was able to see how they were using that Media Recorder and Media Stream API. So yeah, that's how we did it. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, just shoot me a comment, and I could I'd be happy to answer questions or help you set things up. It was really a fun project, and enjoyed doing it. And now I don't have to use whatever the Chrome Web Store apps are that don't have a free version unless you want like a watermark in them. So I got some good video now. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope it helped. Have fun.